Welcome to a journey through the dark world of deception and cunning, where reality surpasses fiction and where the brightest minds use their wit for evil. Today, we will pull back the curtain on the most colossal scams ever perpetrated, revealing the 5 most infamous con artists of all time. From pyramid schemes to financial frauds, these masters of deceit didn't just swindle individuals, but in some cases they even shook entire economies. Get ready to dive into the stories of those who, with charisma and audacity, achieved the unimaginable. And remember, if you want to continue unraveling the mysteries of the most fascinating criminal minds, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any details of our upcoming investigations. Position number 5. Frank Abagnale. We start our list with Frank Abagnale, a legendary con artist whose life inspired the movie If You Can, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Abagnale, a master of deception and disguise, began his criminal career at the tender age of 16. With an astonishing ability for forgery and fraud, this young man managed to impersonate a Pan Am pilot flying over 1,000,000 miles for free by tricking the airline into believing he was one of their pilots. But he didn't stop there. Frank Abagnale also infiltrated the world of medicine, posing as a chief of pediatrics at a Georgia hospital without any medical training. His audacity went so far that he even worked as a lawyer in Louisiana, passing the bar exam without ever attending law school. Before being captured at the age of 21, Abagnale had written fraudulent checks worth millions of dollars in 26 different countries. After his arrest and conviction, this charismatic swindler turned his life around. The FBI, impressed by his knowledge in the art of fraud, recruited him as a consultant and lecturer to help prevent future financial crimes. The story of Frank Abagnale is a fascinating journey through the life of one of the most ingenious con artists of all time, a man who managed to deceive an entire system with his charm and intelligence, and who ultimately put his skills to the service of the law. Rank number 4. Charles Ponzi. At number 4 on our list of the greatest swindlers of all time, we have Charles Ponzi, the infamous Italian swindler whose fraudulent money-making strategy was so notorious that it gave birth to the term Ponzi scheme. Ponzi's story is a classic tale of greed and deception that has become a cautionary benchmark for investors worldwide. In the roaring 1920s, Charles Ponzi promised investors in the United States astronomical returns of 50% in just 45 days or 100% in 90 days, through what he claimed was an investment in international postal reply coupons. The idea was to exploit the differences in currency values and the cost of these coupons in different countries. However, the truth was far more sinister. Ponzi was not investing funds, but was using the money from new investors to pay returns to earlier ones, creating the illusion of a profitable business while no real profit was being made. The scheme initially succeeded as early investors saw substantial returns, a fact that Ponzi flaunted to attract even more clients. The word of quick and easy wealth spread like wildfire, and money poured in from all corners. At the height of his scheme, Ponzi was raking in millions of dollars. However, the structure of his plan was inherently unstable, as it relied on a constant influx of new investments to continue delivering returns. Inevitably, the house of cards collapsed when the influx of new investors slowed down and the returns could no longer be paid out. The collapse of Ponzi's scheme was spectacular, leading to financial ruin for many and Ponzi's own imprisonment. His legacy lives on as a stark reminder of the perils of too good to be true investment opportunities and the importance of due diligence. And Charles Ponzi's name now stands as a byword for financial fraud, a dubious honor that cements his place at number 4 in the annals of history's most notorious con artists. Rank number 3. Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes, the young prodigy who promised to change the world of medicine, ranks 3rd in our list of scammers. The founder of Theranos Holmes captured the imagination of Silicon Valley and the entire world with a revolutionary idea to perform complete blood tests with just a few drops using a machine called Edison. Her charisma and her story of being the next Steve Jobs attracted investors who contributed hundreds of millions of dollars. But behind the facade of innovation and success, a very different reality was hidden. Holmes's promises were as empty as the results of her machine's tests. The Theranos technology never worked properly. But that didn't stop Holmes and her team, who falsified demonstrations and results to maintain the illusion. The deception not only affected investors, but also endangered the health of real patients who received diagnoses and treatments based on incorrect data. The truth came to light, thanks to the brave investigation of journalists and whistleblowers, which led to the fall of Theranos and Holmes facing justice. Elizabeth Holmes went from being one of the richest and most acclaimed women in the tech world to a symbol of greed and fraud in the startup sector. Her story is a reminder that even in the age of innovation, integrity and honesty are values that cannot be forgotten. Rank number 2. Bernie Madoff. In second place on our list of infamous swindlers is Bernie Madoff, the man behind the largest Ponzi scheme ever recorded. This former chairman of the New York Stock Exchange, with a seemingly impeccable career, managed to deceive thousands of investors, including well-known names from Hollywood tycoons and charitable organizations. Madoff founded Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities LLC, and for decades was a respected figure on Wall Street. His scam started as a legitimate investment business, but over time it turned into a financial juggling act. He promised consistent and safe returns to his clients, but in reality he used the money from new investors to pay the old ones, a classic sign of a Ponzi scheme. Madoff's fraud remained hidden, thanks to his reputation and the trust he inspired in his clients. In addition, he presented false financial reports to maintain the illusion of a thriving business. However, the truth came to light in 2008, when the financial crisis forced many investors to withdraw their money and Madoff could not meet the refund requests. The impact of his scam was monumental. It is estimated that investors' losses reached $65 billion. In 2009, Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison for 11 federal crimes, including securities fraud, money laundering, and perjury. Madoff's downfall served as a harsh lesson about greed and the importance of financial regulation. His story is a grim reminder that even the most respected figures can hide dark secrets. Bernie Madoff undoubtedly earned his place in history as one of the greatest swindlers of all time. Position number 1. Victor Lustig. At the top of our list is the master of deception, the incomparable Victor Lustig, the man who sold the Eiffel Tower. Not once, but twice. Born in 1890, this charismatic and polyglot Czech con artist earned a reputation for being one of the most cunning and elegant swindlers of all time. His most famous scam took place in 1925, when he took advantage of the news that the maintenance of the Eiffel Tower was too costly for the French government. With unmatched audacity, Lustig posed as a government official and summoned a group of scrap metal dealers to offer them the sale of the tower for its dismantling. With forged documents and an Oscar-worthy performance, he convinced one of them to hand over a huge sum of money. But what really elevates Lustig to the stardom of con artists is that after the success of his first scam, and despite the risk of being discovered, he had the audacity to repeat the same fraud. Incredibly, he managed to deceive another group of unsuspecting victims before suspicions were finally raised, and he had to flee. Lustig's criminal career did not stop there. Among his numerous scams, he also created the Rumanoff box, a device that supposedly duplicated banknotes. But in reality, it only gave Lustig time to escape with his victims' money before they discovered the trick. Eventually, Victor Lustig's luck ran out, and he was captured by the authorities. He died in prison in 1947. But his legacy as one of the most ingenious and daring swindlers in history endures to this day. His story reminds us that in the world of crime, creativity and audacity can sometimes overcome even the most advanced technology and the strictest security measures. Without a doubt, Victor Lustig deserves the title of the #1 con artist of all time. We have journeyed together through the dark paths of cunning and fraud, getting to know the 5 most infamous swindlers of all time. These masters of deceit have shown us that although their feats may seem fascinating, their actions are nonetheless crimes that have affected the lives of thousands of people. May their stories serve as a lesson for us to remain vigilant and promote honesty in our daily transactions. Do not forget that reality often surpasses fiction, and that to be one step ahead of today's and tomorrow's con artists, it is crucial to stay informed and be skeptical of offers that seem too good to be true. If you have been interested in this journey through the more roguish side of history, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and share this video. Together, let's continue to unravel mysteries and learn from the lessons that the most